Masking is done. We're just gonna have to live with the overspray down through there. I shouldn't have to spray too much. This dark color, well, the lighter silvery is metal. This had black epoxy primer on it. I'll try to be consistent and cover up the black with the gray epoxy primer that I've got now. This is now cleaned up, just needs to be wiped. Same with that. I've reinstalled the taillight housings so that they can be sprayed in place. Now it's time to wipe everything down with the final prep, final wipe. Time for some cleanup. Putting away all the paint stuff. I really don't think I'm going to get to any serious painting of the outside of the car now that it's November. But I will try to get the parchment or white on those column parts, dash parts, as well as, I guess I don't see it in there, somewhere there they are. I will sand down and shoot the white on that glove box door and the ashtray, and that will let me continue with the focus of the winter's project, which will be the interior. So that includes all the gauge work, putting the dash back together, reinstalling all of the window mechanisms, greasing and or rebuilding as necessary, followed by sandblasting off seats, some of which back seats are up there, front seats are over there, tearing those all down and sandblasting the corrosion off and coating them. So with that in mind, I need to move everything that's over there over to here so that the car, which is now its entire length minus the bumpers, can go up against that wall, and that'll give me this stall to work on the Fiero and to do other painting projects and still allow me access, obviously, to the interior through this door. So that is what I'll be working on now. Part of making room for fitting the whole car along this edge is to pare down some of the stuff I've got here. Really, I'm not going to get out of the concrete business. I may as well sell that float. but easier would be to get rid of the two original bumpers. I'll spin it around, and yeah, they're missing a lot of the chrome. This one's not so bad, whereas this one, however, yeah, that's a problem. So I purchased some, supposedly, I'm trusting the seller in the pictures and everything, these are original but in really, really good condition. So before I can throw these away, I need to remove the brackets and the backup lights, license plate holder, etc. from these, and then they can go to metal salvage. So this is the driver's side, this being the bottom edge of the bumper on the rear. So just a recording of how this plate goes in. It has the, we'll call it the trough, is actually facing up. No, I'm sorry, facing down, which makes sense. I guess it makes sense. Anyway, it's facing down. So I'm going to take that off. That gives me access to that nut. That nut I already have access to, and that will remove this bracket. I've already done the same thing with the passenger side, and I've gone ahead and marked what bracket and what, we'll call that a guard, a shield, to keep water from being thrown up onto the backup light socket. So that came off quite nicely. Again, California car. Cannot complain about the disassembly. It's been minimal number of broken fasteners, stuck fasteners. So I have a good record of how I disassembled this. See how this bracket looks. And we are looking at the passenger side up here and driver's side down there. One thing I did notice is that that nut is smaller than that nut that I took off. That nut there. I shouldn't have to take off that nut or that nut back there. This bracket should come off in two pieces. I could disassemble it and clean it up to paint later, but to get it off the bumper proper. One thing I'm curious about is what this is holding and was supposed to hold. I don't know. Anyway, let's get those off the rest of the way. I'm going to need a kind of a wobbly extension to get over that nut. Car is pushed up against the wall. Got some cardboard over there for protection. But yeah, it's not touching, pretty darn close to the wall. Measurements, oh yeah, transmission, shove it underneath there. Measurements have got about 2 feet across there and about 2 feet across there. I really don't think it's going to fit, but we'll give it a try. See, be nice to have it sit back there out of the way. Alright, last evening, got all of these bumper brackets and license plate holders and so forth all cleaned and painted. And we also prepped these pieces for painting. All of these here, these will all get the parchment, and then these will get black to match the scheme on the photo that I'll post up here again of what I'm following, which is first 64, but I like it better than what my car originally came as. At least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Well, I got my mask on. It's still a little cloudy in here, a little foggy. These have got the satin black on it. All these have parchment, or otherwise known as Ford Wimbledon white. And they also have like 3 coats of low gloss clear. It'll be interesting to see how well the glove box door and the ashtray match the rest of the dash. The focus for a while is going to be putting the dash back together. So that includes buttons and switches, gauges, fascia pieces, replacement for the radio speaker. Although I don't know why, because I don't think the radio works. It's all kind of show. HVAC controls, etc. The vents for the HVAC. So starting with the wires, I've got there's a bundle of wires under the dash already. I didn't take those. Those are connected to the fuse block and so forth. But I did remove separable wire harnesses. The speaker's pretty self-explanatory. I tried to leave tags, again, many years ago. This one, I believe, just says radio. And then this one here for the courtesy light has, it says, 2 white wire terminal. The other end here, this is glove box. And then this has some direction. I don't know if it will focus there, to orange wire terminal. And then we've got these lights here. Something about the screw. I'll go through and try to see what all these mean, what they say, remark them as I can see. Also, I can refer back to the wiring diagram. This one here is the parking brake light and connection and switch for the parking brake. That's pretty straightforward. This is all power top. So this goes to a terminal actually under the hood, and I'm following the the yellow or the red. Red and green. Red and green go to the pump motor, and then the yellow is up here, and it goes over to a junction block under the hood on the firewall. So I'm pretty sure I've got kind of a general idea of where most of these things go, but again, I'm going to remark the tape. Decided I would go ahead and test this switch, because I definitely know on some of these they're suspect. But we'll start with the convertible top switch, and again, this is no load, so if the contacts are somewhat corroded, I still get continuity, but put it under load and that may fail. But at least this is a starting point. So I've got the leads hooked up to my meter. My meter is set on making a sound, and all right, so that direction works, and fortunately the other direction does not. Now we just need to move the wire to the other terminal. I'll bring you back. So we've got the other terminal, other blade of the connector there, the one connected to the red wire. If I did the switch in the other direction, we've got sound, but not the other one. So I'll do the same to some of these other ones. The glove box, somewhere underneath here is this one here. I figure I'm gonna definitely have to disassemble and clean that up. Fortunately, it's a very basic, just making a ground connection, so once I get it cleaned up, I'm sure it will work fine. After much cleaning and using this electronic cleaner, wire brush cleaning that is, disassembled, pop these little tangs back. That silver plate comes out. Underneath there is a spring, and then with the bulb in place, dielectric grease all over, we can see that first of all, with the bulb in, yeah, we've got a completed circuit there. By the way, I'm running one end of the ohmmeter to the plug, and then we're just going to measure that we have continuity throughout. Yeah, there we go. I just had to find a place on the bulb that hard to do one-handed. Bottom line is, if I connect down here, I've got a circuit, and then when I press the button, like the glove box door closing, it goes away. Open the door. Yeah, it's back, just not enough to make the noise, but there we go. I'm sure the more I use it, the more reliable it'll be. All right.